Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever spent hours cleaning only for your home to look messy again just a few days later? It's frustrating, right? Today, I'm sharing 12 simple decluttering tips that will help you keep your space tidy without constantly cleaning. These tips will help you get rid of the things you don't need and keep your home organized for the long haul. Let's jump right in. You won't want to miss this. Number 1, let's start with your kitchen gadgets. How often do you find yourself surrounded by kitchen tools you never actually use? Maybe that blender you bought for smoothies or the fancy juicer that's collecting dust. It's easy to accumulate these gadgets that seem useful at the time, but end up taking up valuable space. Start by pulling everything out of your kitchen drawers and countertops. If you haven't used a gadget in the last 6 months, it's probably time to let it go. The goal isn't to be wasteful, but to create more functional space. Consider donating or selling those items like the ice cream maker or the bread machine that are just taking up room. I recently let go of a popcorn machine I hadn't used in over a year. After donating it, my kitchen instantly felt less cluttered, and I actually found space for the things I use daily, like my coffee maker and blender. When your kitchen is decluttered, cooking becomes much easier and less stressful. You won't waste time searching for the right tools or feeling overwhelmed by clutter. I'll continue suggesting more decluttering tips in tomorrow's video, so stay tuned for more ideas on how to keep your space organized and stress-free. Next, let's move on to another spot that often gets overloaded with unnecessary stuff: your drawers. Let's talk about cookbooks. How many do you have sitting on your shelf gathering dust? The ones you bought years ago with great intentions but never actually opened, or that recipe binder stuffed with pages of recipes you haven't made in ages. It's easy to get caught up in buying new cookbooks, thinking they'll inspire us to cook more, but most of the time they end up just taking up space. Start by going through all your cookbooks and recipe cards. If you haven't used them in the past year, it's time to let them go. Instead of keeping a huge collection, try digitizing your favorite recipes or just store the ones you actually use in a simple binder. That way you'll only keep what's truly useful, and the rest can be donated or recycled. I used to have a full shelf of cookbooks, but most of them just sat there collecting dust. I finally narrowed it down to my go-to favorites and digitized the rest. The space it freed up in my kitchen made it feel so much more open, and I can now find my go-to recipes in a matter of seconds without wasting time flipping through books I don't need. Having a smaller, more organized collection of recipes will save you time when you need to cook. No more flipping through pages of books you don't use. Everything you need will be neatly organized and easy to access, so you can focus on cooking instead of searching. Now let's move on to another area that tends to accumulate unnecessary clutter: your drawers. Do you have stacks of magazines and old newspapers piling up around the house? It's like they multiply overnight, right? You keep thinking you'll read them one day, but we both know that's not going to happen. Those magazines you've been holding on to for inspiration or ideas have likely become nothing more than glorified dust collectors, just waiting for you to get to it, which, let's face it, is never. Start by going through your magazines and newspapers. If you haven't read them in the past few months, it's time to let them go. The internet and apps like Pinterest can easily replace these, and honestly, you probably have more ideas there anyway, and it doesn't take up precious shelf space. Digitize the articles or images you like and store them in a folder or a Pinterest board. I used to keep piles of design magazines in my living room, convinced that one day I'd need them for a rainy day. After recycling them, my living room actually felt like a living room again, not a mini library. Now all my design inspiration is on my phone, and I don't have to dust off an entire bookshelf just to get a good idea. Decluttering your magazines and newspapers not only clears up space, but also stops your house from looking like an old news archive. Your home will feel lighter, and you can finally stop feeling guilty every time you see that pile you're definitely going to get to. Once that's done, we're ready to tackle another notorious clutter zone, your closet. Let's talk about your closet. You know that place where clothes you haven't worn in years are hanging out, pretending to be part of your wardrobe? It's like a time capsule of your past fashion choices, except most of them are from an era you've long moved on from. And yet they just stay there, silently, taking up precious space. Start by pulling everything out of your closet. Try on clothes you haven't worn in a while. If they don't fit or you don't love them anymore, it's time to let go. Remember, keeping clothes you're not going to wear is just like holding on to baggage you don't need. Donate the pieces that are still in good condition and recycle the ones that are worn out. I had a whole section of my closet dedicated to just-in-case clothes. You know, the ones you keep because you think you might wear them again someday, but you never do. I donated most of them, and honestly, my closet has never looked better. It's so much easier to get dressed in the morning when you only have clothes that fit, look good, and feel comfortable. Decluttering your closet will not only give you more space, but will also make getting dressed so much easier. No more "I have nothing to wear" moments. You'll only have clothes that make you feel good. And now let's move on to another area that tends to get filled up with unnecessary stuff, your bathroom drawers. Now let's take a look at your bathroom drawers. You know, the ones filled with half-used lotions, expired skincare products, and that random lip gloss you haven't touched in years. It's so easy for bathroom drawers to get out of hand, especially when we hold on to products just in case we need them. How many half-empty shampoo bottles do you have? And don't get me started on all those sample-sized products you keep, because you might use them one day. Start by going through every drawer and shelf in your bathroom. Toss out anything that's expired, sticky, or you haven't used in months. If a product is still good but you don't use it, donate it or pass it on to someone else who might find it useful. Be honest with yourself about what you really need and what's just taking up space. Sometimes it's easier to keep something just in case, but cluttered drawers only add to your stress. I remember cleaning out my own bathroom drawers and finding half-full bottles of lotion and shower gels from years ago. I didn't even remember buying them. After I finally cleaned everything out, my bathroom felt so much more open, and I could finally see and access the products I actually use every day without digging through piles of clutter. Decluttering your bathroom drawers not only creates more space, but also makes it easier to stay on top of your daily routine. You won't waste time looking for that one bottle of shampoo you like, because everything will have its place. Plus, you'll finally get rid of all those products you're never going to use. It's like a mini refresh for your bathroom, and trust me, it feels great. Next, let's talk about the place where clutter tends to build up without us even noticing: our nightstands. Now let's talk about that trusty nightstand next to your bed. We all have one, and it's the perfect place for tossing things at the end of a long day. But somehow it often ends up with random items, old receipts, books you've been meaning to read, pens, and a few forgotten beauty products. It's like a small drawer of chaos. Start by emptying everything off your nightstand. Ask yourself if each item is serving a purpose, or if it's just taking up space. If it's something you never use or you've forgotten about, it's time to let it go. Keep only the essentials. Maybe a book you're reading, a lamp, and a phone charger. Anything else just adds to the clutter. If you find yourself holding on to things, just in case, it's time to rethink their place in your life. I used to have a nightstand full of random things I didn't even remember putting there. Old magazines, receipts, and stuff I thought I might need one day but never did. After clearing it off, I realized how much nicer it was to wake up and have a clean, organized space next to my bed. I only keep a few things now, and it makes a huge difference to my mood. Plus, it's a relief to not have to dig through a pile of papers to find my glasses or my phone. Decluttering your nightstand not only gives your room a cleaner, more organized feel, but It also helps you create a peaceful space to unwind at night. You won't be distracted by random items when you're trying to relax, and you'll sleep better knowing your space is tidy. Now that we've tackled the nightstand, let's move on to a place that often gets crowded without us realizing it, the kitchen drawers. Let's move to the kitchen drawers, the mysterious place where every random thing seems to end up. You open it to grab a spoon, and somehow there's a broken pin, an old receipt, 3 batteries that may or may not work, and at least 5 twist ties you're definitely going to need one day. We all have that drawer, or let's be honest, maybe more than one. Start by emptying the drawer completely. Wipe it clean and take a look at what's inside. You'll probably find a few things that make you wonder, why on earth did I keep this? That's a good sign. It means it's time to let go. Toss the things that don't work, relocate what belongs elsewhere, and only keep the items that actually serve a purpose in the kitchen. One small organizer tray can do wonders for keeping everything in place. I used to have a drawer so full of random bits and pieces that it barely closed. Once I cleared it out, it was like discovering a new part of my kitchen I didn't even know existed. Now everything has a home scissors tape and the essentials I actually use. No more wrestling with the drawer just to find a bottle opener. Decluttering your kitchen drawers doesn't just make them look nicer, it saves you time and energy. You'll find what you need instantly and won't have to dig through chaos every time you cook. It's a small change that makes your whole kitchen feel calmer. Next, we'll take a look at something that takes up even more invisible space. All the cables and electronics you've been hanging on to just in case. If there's one category that makes us all secretly sigh, it's cables and old electronics. Somehow, we've all ended up with a box full of random cords, chargers, and gadgets that we swear might be useful again one day. Spoiler alert, they never are. You probably don't even remember what half of them belong to, yet there they are tangled together like spaghetti. Start by gathering every cord, cable, and old device you can find. Test what actually works and get rid of anything that doesn't. Be ruthless if you have 5 of the same type of charger. Keep 1 or 2 and donate or recycle the rest. As for those ancient phones, cameras, or MP3 players you're keeping for nostalgia, take a photo if you must, then recycle them responsibly. They're not coming back into style, promise. And honestly, when was the last time you charged a flip phone anyway? When I finally tackled my own box of cables, I found 4 camera chargers for a camera I sold years ago. It was a reality check I'd been hanging on to clutter I didn't even realize existed. After clearing it all out, I had one small box with neatly labeled cables, and suddenly my home office felt twice as functional. It's amazing how something as small as a messy box of cords can quietly add stress without us noticing. Decluttering old electronics and cables doesn't just free up physical space, it clears mental space too. You stop feeling weighed down by outdated stuff and start appreciating the things that actually work for your life right now. And since we're already in tech territory, it's time to look at something we all struggle with, the clutter hiding inside our devices. Now that we've dealt with the physical cords and gadgets, let's talk about the clutter you can't actually see, the digital kind. Because, let's be honest, sometimes our phones and laptops are messier than our kitchen drawers. Hundreds of screenshots, unread emails, random apps we downloaded once and forgot about. It's chaos just on a smaller screen. Start small. Pick one area, maybe your photo gallery or your email inbox. Delete the duplicates, blurry pictures, or those random screenshots of recipes you never tried. Unsubscribe from newsletters you don't read and organize your files into clear folders. The key is progress, not perfection. 5 minutes a day makes a huge difference. I used to have over 18,000 photos on my phone. 18,000. I told myself I'd go through them one day, but that day never came. When I finally started deleting a few every night before bed, it became a relaxing habit. Now I can actually find the pictures I love instead of scrolling endlessly through clutter. Decluttering your digital space might sound small, but it's surprisingly freeing. You'll notice your devices run faster, your mind feels calmer, and you spend less time looking for things. It's like cleaning your house, but without the vacuum noise. Once your digital world feels lighter, you'll notice how much more mental energy you have, and that's the perfect mindset for tackling the next category. Those sentimental items we hold on to, just in case. This one's tough, sentimental clutter. The things that aren't exactly useful, but somehow carry a story. The birthday cards you've kept for 10 years, the old souvenirs from trips long gone, or that sweater your friend gave you that you never actually wore. These items don't take up much space at first, but over time, they start to pile up and weigh you down. They whisper memories every time you see them, and sometimes that makes it even harder to let go. Start by gathering all the sentimental items in one place. Take a moment with each one. Ask yourself if it's the object you're attached to or the memory behind it. Most of the time, it's the memory. And the truth is, memories don't need to live inside drawers or boxes, they live in you. Keep a few truly meaningful pieces and let go of the rest. Take photos of the things you can't keep if it helps you hold on to the story, or write a short note about what it meant to you before parting with it. I once had a box full of old movie tickets, notes from high school, and random keepsakes from trips I barely remembered. When I finally sorted through them, I realized that I didn't need the objects to remember those moments. I just needed to honor them and move forward. Now I keep one small memory box and it feels like enough. Every time I open it, I smile instead of feeling overwhelmed. Decluttering sentimental items isn't about forgetting the past. It's about making peace with it. It gives you room to appreciate what's here now, not what's buried in the closet. You'll feel lighter, freer, and surprisingly more connected to what truly matters. And since we're already talking about things that sneak into our homes and stay way too long, it's time to open the storage closet and face what's hiding inside. Be honest. Do you have a black hole in your home? You know that place where things go in but never come back out. It might be the attic, the basement, the garage, or that one closet you open carefully in case something drops on your head. We all have that space, and it quietly fills with stuff we swear we'll deal with someday. Start small. Don't try to clear it all in one go. Pick one shelf or one box and begin there. You'll probably come across boxes labeled miscellaneous, which basically means I had no idea what to do with this. That's your sign to finally decide. If you haven't used something in a year or even remembered it existed, you can safely let it go. When I finally cleaned out my own storage closet, I found a box of tangled Christmas lights, 3 vases I forgot I owned, and a stack of half-broken picture frames. I had been moving those same boxes from house to house for years. Donating and tossing what no longer served me felt like shedding a layer of mental clutter I didn't know I was carrying. Clearing out your storage space isn't just about organizing things neatly, it's about releasing that invisible pressure of, I might need it one day. The truth is that day rarely comes. What does come is the feeling of calm when you open the door and can actually see the floor again. Now that we've cleared the corners and uncovered the forgotten boxes, it's time to move to the space that greets you every day. Your entryway, the very first place Clutter likes to call home. The entryway, the place where chaos begins. You walk in, drop your bag, your keys, your jacket, maybe the mail, and before you know it, that small space by the door looks like a miniature disaster zone. Shoes everywhere, random receipts on the counter, and a pile of things that somehow never make it to where they actually belong. Start by clearing everything out. Take a look at what usually lands there when you walk in. That's your clue to what needs a home. Create a simple system that fits how you actually live. A small basket for keys, a hook for your bag, a tray for mail, and a shoe rack that can handle daily use. You don't need a Pinterest perfect setup, just something that works. I used to have this habit of dropping everything on the nearest surface. When I came home, purse coat, grocery bags, you name it. It took me less than 5 minutes to create a better routine. I added a small bench with baskets underneath for shoes, a few hooks on the wall, and a tray for my keys. Now the space actually looks calm, even after a long day. Decluttering your entryway might seem like a small thing, but it changes the entire feeling of walking into your home. When the first thing you see is clear space instead of clutter, your mind relaxes instantly. It's a little moment of peace before the rest of the day catches up to you. And that's the beauty of decluttering. It's never about perfection. It's about creating a home that supports you, not one that drains you. And that's it. 12 simple ways to declutter your home and make your days feel a little lighter. None of these steps require perfection or hours of effort. They're just small changes that quietly add up to something bigger, a calmer home and a calmer you. If you've been feeling like clutter keeps winning, remember this: you don't need to fix everything in one day. Just start somewhere. One drawer, one shelf, one small corner. Progress happens in quiet moments, not massive overhauls. Every item you let go of is one less thing you have to clean, manage, or think about. That's the secret to decluttering. It's not about having less. It's about making space for what matters more. So take a deep breath, look around your space, and notice what you've already done. You're not starting over, you're moving forward one clear surface at a time. If this video helped you feel a little lighter, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, which part of your home are you going to declutter first? Because you deserve a space that feels calm, simple, and easy to live in every single day.